Good afternoon. So, a couple of days ago, I made a video about wanting to answer some questions um, that I asked my daughter for, and yes, was I happy? Um, Having been married, when I was her age, my daughter is 27. Um, I was already married with both of them. I was I divorced? I could have been separated because it's a whole nother story that I started that I do intend on finishing, Lord will, as well. But that said, at her age, at 27, I was already married, but with both she and her brother, my son. So whether or not I am happy, I can honestly say yes, it's enough to be alive. I'm thankful to just be up every day, to still have, breath in my body, to have my life, my health, and my strength, be able to walk up here using my limb, able to talk, using my voice. Um, those are any more, different things that I've been through in life. It's not something that I take lightly. Could I be happier? Yes. Um, but I mentioned in previous videos, tachycardia, which is like how I'm sitting here now. I could just be sitting here, and like out of nowhere, my heart would just start. It could just start racing. And at my first bout, it actually was a thing, but finding out like that it could be having an actual medical scare with it happened in October 2023. I remember vividly, I was eating at Subway. I was sat out in the parking lot, just got my sandwich. Once I was full, I was like, well, I'm going to go to Publix and get me something to drink. And it was like literally Publix right next door, so it worked. So I get to Publix, get out my car, and I go to, get out to go into the store, and I couldn't make it. I don't think I made it halfway from the car. And, like I just didn't feel right. Not that I was going to pass out, but I just couldn't keep going. So I turned around, got back in my car, and I'm like, I'm just going to go to the ER. It was a football game that night at the medical facility at the ER that I went to, so there was no place that I could park anywhere. And I was like, well, everything is I'll be all right, when I just go in. But every time I went to, go home, I would stop and turn the car around. Somebody said, no, you need to go get checked out. So to make a long story short, I wound up going to a different medical facility, and they explained to me what was happening, and they tried to get my heart rate down and couldn't, or it wouldn't go down on its own like the regular ways. So they took me into another room, and the young lady started putting the pads on me, and I was like, all I could do was just call on Jesus in my head. But I was still like alert and still well, but my heart rate just wasn't coming down. So I wound up calling my sister so that she could come and see about me. She brought my nephew. They took my car back, and once my heart rate did finally come down, I went to sleep through the night, and before the in the morning, they was able to transport me to our regular medical facility. So they had asked. Once I was there, everything was still well. My heart rate was still, where it should be. And the doctor had came in and asked if I wanted to stay, and see a cardiologist, or, if I wanted to be discharged. And because I was already familiar with tachiness anyway, I was like, well, I knew I wanted to see a cardiologist, like, what is this about? So they kept me for 2 nights, and put me on medication. And after that, not that the medication did not work, but I wound up just getting an ablation in February. I got the ablation February 13th and was discharged February 14th on Valentine's Day. So, dealing with the heart on the day of hearts. of 2024 of last year. So, and the ablation, I was up for it. It wasn't something where I had to be put to sleep, so I was thankful for that. And it was heat. They apparently have two ways that it could be done, heat and cold. So mine was heat. And he used a catheter and he went in through my thigh, and I could feel the heat. And to back up with the tackiness, and what was happening, it was purely electrical, and that's what I skipped during my stay at the ER in the at the hospital. And I had, it's just a couple of stays though, but both times they ran a series of tests. I mean, anything you can think of, they ran it. And I'm thankful that there were no underlying conditions. So in my case, it was purely electrical. And how he explained it to me, the cardiologist explained it to me, was it could be like maybe when I was, born, where babies, their heartbeats, and I saw that with my grandchild, is already like boom, 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 boom. It's super fast, super fast, super fast. And as you get older, of course, it slows down. But for me, it could have been, and there was like one of two cases, but mine was, there's a spot, how, beating and, whatever the charges may be. It's like, your regular boom, 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 boom. Well, somewhere in there could be like a misfire. The nurse actually put it like a short circuit. So like it was misfires, then the charge goes elsewhere on its way, like, or actually like boom, 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 like a up down motion or however. But mine would like a misfire, so it would go somewhere else entirely instead of like to keep a regular beat. So once it does that, then it's a spin. It's like almost like a spin out. She explained it like a spin out. So that's when it started like boom, 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 boom. So it's going super fast, super fast. I think when it like when I actually had it looked at, or when they called it where I could not get into the store, like back up again, I had got up to like 200 beats per minute. Heartbeat's not supposed to. I think like your regular, just resting heart rate is just anywhere from 60 to 100. But that said, I had got up to 200 beats per minute in that particular evening. But yeah, it was purely electrical. So the ablation corrected it, and I thank God for the procedure. There was no issues or what have you, and they just kept me for one night, of course, for observation. So needless to say, I have cut back on like the caffeine. I drink decaf now, or half and half. If I do drink regular, it's few days and far between. But when I do drink coffee, it's decaf. Or like I say, I may have half decaf. And I also too have a coffee alternative. Let's see what else. All of this, just to answer the question on happiness. Yeah, yes, I am happy because I could not be here too. So yeah, let's see what else did she ask me. I brought the book up here with me. She was like, she had forgotten even what she had asked, and she may go back through and even answer them for her own daughter, my grandbaby. And I mentioned she's been back 3 weeks tomorrow. And like I said, I'm thankful. Did I bring the right book? Oh, I don't know that I have the right book. I have so many little books that I keep stuff in. Okay, I don't think I bought the right book. But yeah, I didn't. But yeah, that's pretty much what I have. So for everyone who is watching, I thank you, and I appreciate your support. Until next video.